with that, let's also bring you all of the cues that you should watch as we get into this trading session. We have our research team here with the trade setup. Rima, Nigel and Surbhi all join us now to prep us up for this trading session. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. And Rima, let me come to you first for the market setup. We were going through the global cues, a little bit negative, at least in terms of what we got for a handover, but take us through everything we should watch.
Well, you know, today is the April series expiry, so that's going to be very, very crucial. And plus, we've got so many domestic factors to react to. So yes, top down, there is a bit of a subdued start. Asian markets are trading in the red, but the fall in crude prices on the sidelines may also be fairly supportive. Crude prices are now down to $78 per barrel. Now, the question is, yesterday, we managed to conquer 17,800. We did dither a bit around those levels, but can the Nifty now take out the recent high levels of 17,863? In terms of flows yesterday, net institutional, there was a buy figure of nearly 1,000 crore. The DII sold 228 crore in the cash market, but the FIIs bought 1,257 crore. In fact, the FIIs bought for the first time in the last 7 trading sessions. In terms of the results, largely in line. There were no big outliers on either side. So Bajaj Finance, HDFC Life, L&T Tech, Voltas, UTI AMC are all inline set of numbers. Syngene, SBI Life, you can say were a good, it's a good quarter, but it's not something that can blow the lights out in terms of, the stock price performance. Results today, lots to watch. Axis Bank, HUL, and HUL's commentary, particularly about rural demand, will be very crucial because it sets the stage for companies like Marico, Dabur, and what they are likely to report. Bajaj Finserv, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, LTI, Mindtree, ACC, Shriram Finance, Coforge, Loris Lab, Trent, Emphasis. So lots of, large and mid-cap earnings to track. So top down, a bit negative to begin trade with. But today is the expiry session. And can the markets sustain the up move that we've seen in the last couple of days and take out that recent high of 17,863? That will be quite critical. Back to you.
All right, that is the big question. So let's see how the session moves from here. Rima, thanks a lot for getting us all of those cues. But let's also talk about the individual stocks that you should watch. Surbhi is here with that entire list. Hi, Surbhi.
Thanks so much for that. So I have quite a few earnings on my radar today. The first one is Bajaj Finance, where it was largely a stable quarter. The net interest margin compresses marginally, but that was on expected lines. The net interest income is up 28% and PAT is up nearly 31%. Next is HDFC Life, strong quarter from them. APE and VNB both up nearly 69% and VNB margins were stable at 29%. SBI Life, the APE is up 10%, VNB is up 23% and VNB margins have come in higher at close to 32% versus 28% same time last year. Syngene, the revenue is up 31% and margins have come in at 32%. Next is UTI AMC, the revenue is up 2%, the operating profit is up 5% and the revenue yield is also higher at close to 50 basis points versus 49 basis points in the last quarter. Apart from that, City Union Bank is also on my radar as RBI approves reappointment of N. Kamakodi as MD and CEO for 3 years. And lastly, Cabinet approves National Medical Devices Policy. So that's positive for the likes of Poly Medicure and Tarsons. Apart from that, we'll also be watching out for HUL, Loris Labs, Wipro and TechM. They'll all be coming out with their numbers today.
All right, Surbhi, thanks a lot for getting us all of those individual stock-specific action as well. But with that, let's also talk about Coforge because that has also come out with its earnings right now. Dollar revenue growth at 5%. This is pretty much in line with what was expected. Our poll threw up a number of 4.9%, so it's pretty much in line over there. The net profit has come in at 104 crores. This is below estimates, but remember, there is a one-time loss of 52.3 crores. This is with respect to non-execution of share offering in the US. There has been quite a miss on the margin front. What was expected was around 16%. It's come in closer to around 10.7% on the margin front. This is the EBIT margin that I'm talking about. So that is something that perhaps we will, watch for. The Coforge guidance is also up. They're seeing constant currency revenue growth at 13 to 16%, also guiding for margin expansion of 50 basis points. So that's on Coforge. But with that, let's also move on and talk about all of the cues from the futures and options space because it is really the expiry day today and it's going to be a lot about that. Nigel, what are you tracking?
Well, morning, Pavitra. Buy on dips has been working, so I guess you stick to that. Today, as you said, is expiry day, so expect heightened volatility, particularly in the second half of trade. It's been a good series, mind you. The Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank, they're up between 4 to around 7%. Let's run you through the cues, though. The FIs in the F&O market, well, they added longs, but yesterday they added almost equivalent longs as well as shorts. But keep in mind, from the start of the series, the short positioning is down from around 91% to around 53% or thereabouts. They're buying options as well. So in case things go wrong, there's a bit of a scare in the United States with regard to the banking crisis. So it appears they're positioning themselves some cushion on the downside. So they're buying some protection. That's why they bought some puts. What's encouraging, though, is the way they're writing puts. Even in yesterday's trading session, they wrote close to around 12 puts for every one call. That's giving you a bit of an understanding that going by the options data, it's still pretty much a buy on dips market. Let's focus on a couple of strikes then. We have the 17,800 and 17,700 put. Between them, there's a fair bit of open interest. Watch for those levels on the screen. So that's where the writing is taking place. But let's pull up the next plate. We have the levels that you should be watching. The SGX Nifty for starters is indicating a pullback.
All right, a bit of a pullback that is on the SGX Nifty. For now, it's around 34 points lower, but let's see how we move from here. Nigel, thanks a lot for getting us all of those cues. With that, we are going to get into a short break in the show, but when we return, we have some big earnings that came through. Bajaj Finance reported a stable fourth quarter, and companies like Axis Bank, Wipro are all set to post earnings today. We'll get you all that you need to know when we come back.